Hi everyone, and welcome to your weekly Pick a Card Tarot readings for the week of October 21st. If we haven't met, my name is Sydney, I'm the tarot guy next door, and I use my occult knowledge and intuition to help guide you towards the life you want. If you have a question you want to ask the tarot, you'll find information on how to get a private reading below. And if you want to learn tarot and answer those questions for yourself, you'll find information on my beginner's course below. I'll be doing 5-card open readings, and here are the decks that I have for you. We have the Morgan Greer Tarot with Citron, the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot with White Crystal, and the Tarot Symbolic Worth with Amethyst. We also have 4 different oracle cards to choose from 4 different decks. So go ahead and pick which tarot deck and which oracle card resonate with you the most. It's totally fine if you're drawn to more than one, and as always, you can pause this video if you need more time. As always with collective readings, take what resonates with you and leave aside what doesn't. If you want to jump straight to your reading, you'll find timestamps below. And with that, let's go right to the readings. Alright, Group 1, let's see what we have for you for this week. So, we're testing orientation. This should be... Actually, this should be a little bit this way. So I will preemptively make it right. A lot of blue in this reading, and also a lot of cards that I love seeing. So I will... Oh, wow, look at that. All right, I will see you right now, Group 1. So one of the more important factors for how, the person watching this can interpret this reading is how the 5 of Coins Temperance cards are interplaying, because there are a couple ways to interpret these. The more straightforward way would be to imply that you're the church in the 5 of Coins and to be there for the people around you. But there's also the factor of no matter how bad things are going compared to others, you might, still be going pretty good. And yeah, broadening this out to the reading as a whole, one thing that came to mind really quickly actually when I was staring at these cards is the concept of the calm after the storm. And what is making me hesitant to say that is that I'm not too sure how long this storm is going to be. I'm not entirely convinced that the storm is over. Even though, this is just a weekly reading, it kind of seems like we haven't had a break in a while, and despite that, I'm still going to go with the calm after the storm meaning, because again, compared to the others around you, you might be in pretty good shape. Obviously, with the entire reading upright except for the High Priestess, at the bottom of the deck here, I think that I have a bias towards reading you as the Temperance card, which kind of locks everything else into place. And yeah, the decision making and the new level and all that shit kind of plays into that calm after the storm. I would say that the Knight of Swords is inviting you to act in spite of not being too sure what's going to happen. I find it interesting that this version of the Knight is charging towards the High Priestess reversed here. I don't know what that means, but what the Knight of Swords is adding to the mix upright in this reading is pretty obvious. He's often, the way I read him anyway, he's often an invitation to speed up and slow down, so it's pretty obvious here. Especially with the 2 of Swords at the top of the deck, suggesting a decision to be evaluated, one that you're ready for, even though you might not feel that way, but try to compare. I often discourage people to compare themselves to others, but maybe in this context, maybe that might do you some good, as long as it makes you realize, how many options you have in your current situation, no matter what, and no matter how dire things may look, So yeah, I think that wraps everything up. If you liked your reading, please give this video a like, and you can use the timestamps in the description below to jump to your Oracle card reading. I'll see you there. Okay. All right, Group 2, let's see what we have for you for this week. You're going to be my first real test of the pyramid. That should do it. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I'm going to say don't panic anyway, but I think that given the cards that aren't scary and sad, it's pretty obvious that, you know, if you just focus on these cards, there might be a question of what's making you focus on that, you know, given all the other cards that are on camera right now. Oh, look at that. Well, I guess that's a pass for pyramid placement. I'll see you right now, group 2. All right, group 2, I don't think I have that much to say to you. The one sentence summary of all of this is success is the best revenge. And the funny thing about that summary is that no matter how true it is to you, by which I mean it might be that revenge is totally the wrong word for you. And also, considering that this is a 3 of Swords, we're kind of at the beginning of a process, and it's looking like an ongoing process. So as far as success is concerned, it might not be right away. However, no matter how realistic the success that you are after right now is, I think that might serve as a good focal point to focus on this week. Because again, with the cards that are upright and the cards as they are, I mean, we have the ultimate success of the world, we have the patience and focus of the Queen of Coins, we have like the new graduate of the Page of Coins, but he's been through something with the 5 of Cups in the middle here, and the 3 flanked by the 3 of Swords. So it's looking like a grieving process, but I think a grieving process that is channeled through productive action, and that's where the you know, conserve as fuel, you know, the old dark motivation of proving someone wrong is looking like a useful fuel source to tap into for this week. I will give the usual caveat that it's kind of like overclocking your computer. You get more juice out of it, but for less longer, you know. I wouldn't recommend it as a permanent fuel source. But for this week, and again, I'm speaking in the extreme, given my audience, it might be like some shade of gray in there, but I think that the motivation to prove someone wrong might be the fuel that you can tap into to navigate this week to help move on from the 5 of Cups and focus on the 2 cups that are upright that I say all the time, that I almost didn't say this time. Not that it was a problem either way, because it was kind of clear what I was getting at anyway. So yeah, just focus on what you can, and you know, if you're gonna ruminate, ruminate on what you want instead of ruminating on what has happened, you know, and what caused the difficulty that you are dealing with or whatever, to focus on what you're gonna do about it, you know. Now what? That's a good note to end on. If you liked your reading, please give this video a like, and you can use the timestamps in the description below to jump to your Oracle card reading. I'll see you there. All right, group 3, let's see what we have for you for this week. Pyramid placement is on point, I'll say that much. So I'm gonna focus a lot on the first card because that was a very useful endeavor. There we go. Let's see what the rest is. Okay. With, what is this? The Queen of Wands at the bottom of the deck. This should be virtually perfect. Something like that. I'm doing this still blind. It'd be funny if this was crooked. Oh wow, like, good. All right, I'll see you right now. Group 3, I think the one sentence summary for you for this reading is to take it in stride. One thing that leapt out to me right away is that all these pips are odd, suggesting some kind of imbalance, but imbalance isn't necessarily bad, because change is effectively change is inherently unstable because it's the status quo that is changing. And hence why, you know, for many of you, you might have unfortunately made Rider-Waite-Smith associations when you saw these cards. So these cards are particularly like that we're rarely happy to see. I think it's unfortunate, but it's not like wrong. But coming back to what I was actually saying though, the change that is inherent in odd-numbered cards comes with a certain imbalance. Those are kind of the two sides of the coins, just like the stability and stagnation of the even numbered cards. And given the people that are depicted in these cards, I think that the message here, and I really love the circle star aura type thing around the Empress's head here. I really like it where it is. It has that protective aura also emanated in this particular version of the Hangman, because in the Rider-Waite-Smith he's like on a tea tree and a Tao tree, I think it's called. But anyway, here it's like a pole between two poles, so there's that isolation aspect that comes in here. So it's kind of like taking it in stride in the sense of using it as lessons that you can see how to adapt to. And if you approach it from a lens of curiosity, that's when you can kind of look to the future and like be, you know, proud and confident and like take command, because all the things that are happening, all the chaos and turbulence and instability are kind of being channeled in a way where you're kind of, you know, turning into that multi-armed Shiva type looking thing, you know, but kind of taking it in stride too. It's kind of difficult to describe in a way that makes sense and is also faithful to what I'm seeing here. So I hope that the kind of vibe that I'm depicting is clear, because I honestly don't have much to add. So I'm gonna pause the recording just a moment to make sure I didn't leave anything on the table. Yeah, I didn't leave that much, so I'll just wrap up. If I'm going to use what's on these cards, I might as well go all the way, because the associations with the corresponding major arcana cards are made explicit in this deck. And I was trying not to read it, but it is a good way to outro this whole reading of take it in stride. These are lessons that you have to learn. Just be creative. You're a champion after all, and don't let it isolate you, because you know what you're doing, even though you might have to wear a lot of hats this week. If you like this reading, please give this video a like. And if you don't want to watch me pick up your reading, you can use the timestamps in the description below to jump to your Oracle card reading. All right, let's see what the Oracle card portion does. Well, what it looks like. How is it? Oh, it's a little high. Something like that should be better. Excellent. All right, Group A, your card is the Turning Point. This is I Ching hexagram number 24. I almost wanted to joke, if this is the decrease again, I swear to God, and this is kind of the opposite. But anyway, let me just refocus. The keywords are return, the start of a new cycle, right timing, regeneration, inevitability, steady improvements. The funny thing is these keywords resonate really strongly with all three readings for different reasons. But I think that the thing to keep in mind, to keep this week as a turning point, like the things that happened this week don't need to mean the same things that they meant had they happened last week. I'll put it that way. Group B, your card is the full moon in Sagittarius. See the bigger picture. This is very funny. So this is because there was a lot of hints at gradual repetition, gradual improvement, taking things in stride and all that stuff all throughout all three readings. So I think that for some of you, the warning here is to not take things personally. And for others, it might be a warning to not get lost in the weeds and really keep the big picture in perspective. But yeah, it fits really well with all three readings as well. Group C, your angel is Gevura, the left hand judgment. I don't really use those for Sephiroth in general, but at least I'm familiar with the Sephiroth. Still gonna stare at this, give me a sec. This is really interesting because Gebura, where it is, it's like it has all sorts of associations, which I will spare you, but which are kind of playing into how I'm reading this. And I'm combining the associations of Gebura with the visual depiction of this angel, who's kind of like holding a giant badass sword, but is also like completely exposed as far as the vital midsection, or at least in traditional biology, you know. So I think that the how it's combining into one cohesive thing is the message to take decisive action, but also be protective of your energy, or protective of the things, like to not overexpose yourself, but to, that balance between taking decisive action and also not overexposing yourself is kind of the balance that you're being invited to walk this week. Yeah, Group D, your card is growth. Look at that. Well, I think that, it being a green card with the message of growth, I think for some of you, it might be to see how you've been growing as a person. That's something that people often overlook. People rarely give themselves enough credit for how far they've come if they compare themselves to themselves last year instead of comparing yourself to other people today. That's a big one. And also to just keep the optimism on where you want to grow towards. I think that seeing that as a flow in time, also how far you've come and where you want to go, is kind of the mix of how all of this blends into one thing. So I'm going to drop the mic there. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please give this video a like. I hope y'all have a great week. Take care. I'll see you soon.